What we're going to do is we're going to look at an example of all four different objects that we found the surface area of. We're going to start off with our rectangular prism. In this case, our rectangular prism has dimensions of 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers, and 11 kilometers. What you want to keep in mind for a rectangular prism is that the top and the bottom are parallel to each other and they're congruent. The left and the right are congruent, the front and the back are congruent. So all you essentially have to do is find the area of 3 different rectangles and double that. Well, the top rectangle is an 8 by 11 rectangle. So the area of the top and so now looking at the triangular prism, the one thing you want to keep in mind here is that our bases are the triangles. Well, those triangles have dimensions 6, 8, and 10. 8 being the height, 6 being the base, and 10 being the hypotenuse. Now to find the area of a triangle, we go base times height, 1/2 base times height. Well, in this case, the 10 doesn't help us. So the area of the base is 24. And keep in mind, there's 2 bases here. There's a front and there's a back. There's 2 triangles that have exactly the same measurement. Now, I could, if I wanted to, since all of the other faces are rectangles sort of sitting on top of each other, there's 3 rectangles, all with different dimensions, I could find them all individually. But a quick way to find the area of all the other sides added together would be find the perimeter of the triangle. Well, perimeter is just add up all the sides. So 8 plus 6 plus 10. So the perimeter of the triangle, distance on the outside, is 24. So what you're going to do for a formula is 2 times the area of the base plus, you're going to take the perimeter, in this case 24, and you're going to multiply that by the height of the entire prism. The height is also the distance between the bases. So in this case, 11 is my height. So 2 times my base, which is 24, plus my perimeter, which also happens to be 24 by coincidence, times my height, which is 11. Add this all together, I end up with 312 centimeters to the second power. So now moving on to our cylinder. With our cylinder, keep in mind, we still have 2 bases. These just happen to be circles. And that circle has a diameter of 22. Well, if it has a diameter of 22, do not use the 22. You need to use the 11 for radius. Because if you remember, area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So the 22 doesn't help us. So the area of the base in this case, which we know are the 2 circular faces, the area of that is going to be 380.1, and there's 2 of them. Now, to find that sort of wraparound, the label to the soup can, we need to go circumference times height. And if you think back to the triangular prism, we did perimeter times height. Well, circumference is a perimeter of a circle. Well, how do we find circumference of a circle? It's 2 pi r. So all I have to do here is 2 times pi times 11. And I realize that their circumference is 69.1. So just like we said before, for our triangular prism, we said 2 times the area of the base plus, we said perimeter times height. The only difference is now, since the perimeter of a circle is known as the circumference, and we say height, we're talking about the distance between the two bases. So this is going to be 2 times the area of the base, which is 380.1. And then to find out what we call lateral area, again, the soup can label, it's going to be 69.1, which was the circumference, times the height, which is 8. So the circumference, 69.1, the height, 8. This will give me what we call my lateral area. The entire surface area of this is going to be 1,313, in this case, since my label's miles squared. And then our last example is going to be our rectangular pyramid, what we've done most recently. So in this case, we have 2 triangular faces that are congruent to each other. We have the left-hand side, which is a 7 by 12 triangle. Since this side is a 12 by 7, that means the side opposite is also a 12 by 7. So the area of each of those, since it's a triangle, 1/2 times 7 times 12. So the area of the left and the right are both 42. The triangle in the front and the back are 11 by 10 triangles. So they have areas of 55. And we know that when we talk about this, we're talking about 2 times 42 because there are 2 triangles that have an area of 45, the left and the right. 2 times 55 because there are 2 triangles that have an area of 55, the front and the back. And then we have that rectangular base on the bottom, which is a 7 by 11 rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, it's 7 times 11, or 77. Since there's only one rectangle, I don't have to do any multiplication there. And then when I put this all together and get myself a final answer, add it all together, I get 271 kilometers to the second power. These are all additional examples to what we've done so far. If you have any questions, please reach out.